Namaste children, how are you all? Hope you're all doing well. Today we are going to read a wonderful story from Honeysuckle Class 6 English Unit 1. That is, Who Did Patrick's Homework? It is written by Carol Moore. So now let us know about the author. Annie Carroll Moore was an American educator, writer and advocate for children's libraries. Her books are Miss Moore Thought Otherwise, Brave Girl, Planting Stories for the Right to Learn. So these are her books. Now, coming to this story. So this is a wonderful story and it has magical realism in it. So what is this magical realism? Yes, magical realism is something that is not magic but a belief. So it is not a magic but a belief. And this magical realism is shown in a very beautiful manner in this lesson, that is, Who Did Patrick's Homework? And this story conveys that self-help works wonders. So now let us see how this self-help works wonders. We'll see in this lesson, Who Did Patrick's Homework? Patrick never did homework. Too boring, he said. He played baseball and basketball and Nintendo instead. So here the main character is Patrick. So Patrick, he never did homework. So he felt that doing homework is very boring for him, and he showed lot of interest, or he was very much enthusiastic in playing games. So what games he played? Baseball, basketball and Nintendo. So what is this Nintendo, children? It is a video game. So he showed lot of interest in playing games, and he felt that doing homework is very boring for him. Okay, his teachers told him, Patrick, do your homework or you won't learn a thing. And it's true, sometimes he did feel like an ignoramus. But what could he do? He hated homework. So here we come across a word, that is ignoramus. So what is this ignoramus? Ignoramus is an ignorant person who lacks education. So when you don't learn anything, you will lack it. You will lack in education. Okay, so his teachers, what did they say? Patrick, do your homework. And so always they said, but he did not do his homework, and also he felt very boring to do it. And sometimes he felt that when he is not learning anything, he felt that he was like an ignoramus person. Okay, and it's true, sometimes he felt that he was an ignoramus person, that is, he lacked in learning. And but what he could do, children, because he hated homework and he did not learn anything. So when he does the homework, when he does some sort of learning, then only he will be educated in that. He will know the things. Okay, so always he felt very boring to do the homework. Okay, then one day he found his cat was playing with a little doll and he grabbed it away. So what happened one day? So one day he found that he had a cat, children, and the cat was playing with a doll. So what he did? He grabbed it, he caught it. To his surprise, it wasn't a doll at all, but a man of the tiniest size. He had a little wool shirt with old-fashioned breeches and a high tall hat, much like a wit's. So here, to his surprise, so he was very much surprised that it was not a doll. So instead of doll, what was it? It is the tiniest man. It is a man of the tiniest size. Tiniest means small. So he found a man which was of small size. And what it was wearing, how was it? It was wearing a wool shirt and with old fashioned breeches. So what is this breeches? Breeches refers to short trousers. So that trousers it was wearing, and it has a high tall hat, you can see in the picture, and it was much looking like a witch. Okay, he yelled, save me, don't give me back to that cat. I will grant your wish, I promise you that. So he yelled. So who is that he? Yes, he is the tiniest man, or the tiniest man whom he thought that it was a doll. No, that tiniest man. He yelled. Yelled means shouted. What did he shout? Save me. So that tiniest man shouted, saying, you save me. So shouted to whom? To Patrick. It told that, save me. Don't give me back to that cat. So tiniest man said that, you don't give me to that cat. Okay. So if you don't give me to that cat, I'm going to grant your wish. So what is that wish? Some wish, whatever you want, you can ask me. I promise you that. So I swear, I promise that I will grant you the wish, but please don't give me to that cat. Patrick couldn't believe how lucky he was. Here was the answer to all of his problems. So Patrick, he couldn't believe himself. So he is going to get a wish. The tiniest man is going to grant him a wish. Okay, here was the answer to all his problems. So this Patrick is having so many problems. Let us see what are his problems. I think we have come to know about his problem, isn't it, children? So he said he thought that now he got an answer to all his problems. So he said, only if you do all my homework till the end of the semester, that's 35 days. If you do a good enough job, I could even get A's. So now, so he said, here he refers to Patrick. So Patrick said to that tiniest man, so the tiniest man is the elf. Okay, so to the tiniest man, he said that, okay, he said, only if you do, only means I will not give you to that cat, only if. So if you do all my homework. So if you do all my homework, when till the end of the semester, till the end of that particular term, okay, we say term. So till the end of the term or semester, that is 35 days. So for 35 days, you have to do my homework. If you do a good enough job, so if you do nicely, if you complete my work, if you do nicely, I could even get A's. So if you do nicely, I'll get A grade. Okay, so this was the condition which Patrick kept to that tiniest man, or that is the elf. The little man's face wrinkled like a dishcloth thrown in the hamper. So here, the little man's face means his face, facial, wrinkled. So they wrinkled, they came towards inside like a dishcloth thrown in the hamper. So dishcloth means a cloth used for washing dishes. So a hamper refers to a basket with a lid. So when you use that dishcloth and when you crumple it and when you throw it in the hamper, in a basket or with a lid, so in a hamper when you throw it, how it will be, like that his face was. So it is described to a dishcloth which is used and thrown into the hamper. So he kicked his legs and doubled his fist. Fist means this fist, and he grimaced and scowled and pursued his lips. Oh, am I cursed? But I will do it. So here, grimaced, scowled, and pursued his lips. So all this, it means his face had expressions showing disgust, means dislike, anger, and disapproval. So here, this little man's face gave a look of cloth lying in the basket used for washing clothes. So he showed his disapproval. So disapproval he did not like, but he doesn't want to get caught again in that cat. So he did not like. He disapproved. Did not like. What he did not like? He did not like to do this homework. Okay. So he did not like. So for that he showed his disapproval by kicking legs. Okay. So here it is then by kicking. He kicked his legs. So he showed his disapproval by kicking legs, doubling his fist, and making unhappy faces. And also he cursed himself by saying that he was the unfortunate person. Okay, he cursed himself. He thought, I'm the unfortunate person. Okay, and true to his word, that little elf began to do Patrick's homework. Except there was one glitch. The elf did not always know what to do, and he needed help. Help me, he would say, and Patrick would have to help in whatever way. So here glitch refers to fault in a machine that prevents it from working properly or from the problem. Okay, and true to his word. So it's true to his word that, so he promised Patrick that he'll do his homework. Okay, so he had to keep up his promises, isn't it, children? So the little elf began to do Patrick's homework, started doing Patrick's homework. Except there was one glitch. Glitch refers to here. Glitch refers to, it is a this machine. Machine refers to this elf. It doesn't have, or it prevents him for doing that particular work. So this elf doesn't know all these things, doing homework, all these tables, all this He doesn't know it. So he's finding it difficult. It's a problem for the elf to do all that. So the elf did not always know what to do, and he needed help. So the elf, it doesn't know what to do it. So in homework, what he has to do it, it required help. So always he used to call, this elf used to call Patrick, help me, he would say. And Patrick would have to help. So now Patrick had to come to him, to the elf, to help in whatever way. Whatever means, if that elf says this you have to do it, means that he is to do it and help this elf to do the homework. I don't know this word, the elf squeaked while reading Patrick's homework. So while reading Patrick's, in order to do the homework, this elf has to read, isn't it? So while reading this particular books or whatever it is, the elf used to say that squeak means shouting, that I don't know this particular word. Get me a dictionary. No. What's even better? Look up the word and sound it out by each letter. So now, at first it said, you bring the dictionary. So when Patrick brought the dictionary, it said, what's even better? Even better means you refer to that dictionary. Look up the word. So that word you look into the dictionary and look up the word and sound it out by each letter. So you pronounce that word. Okay. So like that, this elf made Patrick to help him in doing the work. And Patrick had to bring the dictionary and he had to read it out or pronounce the word how it has to be pronounced. When it came to maths, Patrick was out of luck. What are timetables? The elf shrieked. So elf, it doesn't know this. Elf doesn't know about the tables. Okay. The elf shrieked. Shriek means shouted, gave a short or high-pitched cry. We elves never need that. And addition and subtraction and division and fraction. Here, sit down beside me. You simply must guide me. So what this elf did? So elf said that we elves, we don't require all this. We don't require addition. We don't require subtraction, all this. But all these are there in the max homework. So this elf called Patrick, come here, sit down beside me. Beside me you sit and you must guide me in order to do the homework. Okay, so who is guiding to do the homework? Yes, it is Patrick who is guiding the elf to do the homework. Does elf know it shall know tables and all that, addition, subtraction? No, elf doesn't know about it. And it is taking the help of Patrick in order to do the homework. Elves know nothing of human history. To them, it's mystery. So the little elf, already a shouter, just got louder. Go to the library. I need books, more and more books, and you can help me read them too. So now what this elf did, elf says that we elves know nothing of human history. So this elf, it tells to this Patrick that we don't know about human history. So whatever the history, whatever you are learning, no, all this we don't know. So all this is a big mystery for us. We don't know all this. So this little elf, what it said, it shouted on Patrick, you go to the library, bring all these books. I need all these books. Okay, bring. It asked him to bring so many books. So all the books Patrick he brought, and you can help me read them too. So how you can help me? You read all these books. Okay, so the elf told Patrick to read all the books which Patrick brought from the library in order to know what is there in the book. So by this, what did Patrick do, children? He is also learning, isn't it? As a matter of fact, every day in every way, the little elf was a nag. Okay, so what is this nag? Nag means one who troubles someone all the time by complaining or asking them to do something. So it was nagging. The elf was nagging. Why the elf was nagging? Because this elf doesn't know about the human history. It doesn't know all this tables or learning. All this they don't have. So as this elf doesn't have all this, so it is troubling Patrick in order to do it, in order to explain it, and it is asking him to bring the books, all that, and it is even asking Patrick to read it. Okay, so Patrick was working harder than ever, and was it a drag? So what is this drag? Drag means something dull and uninteresting. So it was dragging for him. Always this elf is asking him to read that, bring this, pronounce this word, all this it is going on telling him. So he's listening to this elf and he's doing all that. He was staying up nights, had never felt so weary, and was going to school with his eyes puffed and blurry. So here what happened, puffed means you can see his eyes, how they are. So late night he's reading all that. He's helping the elf to do his homework. So by helping that he is only learning so much. Okay. So his eyes are dull and he is very much tired also. Finally, the last day of school arrived and the elf was free to go. So how many days over? It said some one semester, no, that day, that many days, 35 days are over. So now finally the day has come for elf and it was free to go. As for homework, there was no more. So after that semester exams or whatever it is, then they will not have any homework, no? So there was no homework for it to do it. So he quietly and slyly slipped out the back door. So slyly refers to secretly. So after the 35 days, as it promised to stay there only for 35 days to do his homework, after that secretly it slipped. It moved out of the back door. Who moved out of the back door, children? Yes, the elf moved out of the back door. Patrick got his A's. His classmates were amazed. So everyone were amazed, surprised. Who got A's? So Patrick, he got in his subject, in all his subject, A grade. His teachers smiled and were full of praise. So his teachers, they smiled. They felt very happy that Patrick, as he was not doing homework, as he was not learning, he was ignoramus. So as now he got A's. So even the teachers also felt very happy that Patrick got A grade, and they were praising Patrick. Okay. And his parents, they wondered what had happened to Patrick. He was now the model kid. So now what happened to this fellow? So what, they were wondering. So what happened to this kid? Always was he never did. He told he never did homework, and he said that it was very boring for him. And now how come he got all A's? So it was wonder for them, and everyone praised as he got A. Okay. He was now the model kid. Model kid means everyone learned from him. So first he did not do well. Now he got A grades. So he became a model for everyone. So everyone learned from him. Cleaned his room. So cleaned his room, did his chores, was cheerful, never rude, like he had developed a whole new attitude. So chores refers to work that must be done every day. So chores means the work which you have to do every day. That is chores. Cheerful means he was very happy, never rude. He was very polite to elders and everyone, like he had developed a whole new attitude. So what is this attitude? Feeling about someone or something. So about others, about people. He had a very good attitude towards them. Okay. You see, in the end, Patrick still thought he had made that tiny man do all his homework. So now, even at the end, Patrick thought that he made the tiny man, that is the elf, to do his homework. But I will share a secret. So I will share a secret. So what is that secret? Just between you and me. It wasn't the elf. Patrick had done it himself. So it was not the Patrick who had done it, children. It was it was not the elf who had done it. It was Patrick who had done the homework. So but Patrick felt that it was the tiny man, it was the elf which has done the homework for him. He thought, but actually what's the secret which is there between you and me, children? It is Patrick who had done everything, because the elf asked him to bring the books from the library. It asked him to do this. It asked him to tell the tables, all that. It asked him to read the words loudly, pronounce the words loudly, and read the books. All that the elf told Patrick to do it. So when he did all that, in order to help the elf in doing the homework, he himself learned everything. Okay, so but he felt that everything was done by the elf. But who had done? It was Patrick who had done it, isn't it, children? So now finally here Patrick thought that it's the elf who helped him to score high, or which helped him to get A grade. But in reality, it is Patrick himself who worked hard and changed his score. Okay, so finally we learn from this lesson that self-help is the best help. So we need to do our work and we need to be a model kid to everyone. Is this clear, children? Have you all understood? Thank you.